going live terms and conditions and process, and they just decided we were getting too complacent out here. They just needed to change everything, everything. So yay. Allison, with lenses, you don't have to work through all the videos first. It really helps to understand structure, the creative structure, and to understand what resistance is and what the recode does to release, remove, resolve, dissolve resistance. It's very helpful to have an idea of that. But if you've done the 5-day challenge, you do not need to go through those other videos. There is a video in Getting Started that is about lenses, and Chris has one in there about why lenses are important that is fabulous, that will just kind of get you into the understanding of what lenses does. So yeah, trying to learn the basics to do lenses. Beautiful. Book shopping, nothing jumped out. What's my favorite? Boy, that'd be hard. Depend on the day of the week. Got some fabulous books back there, and that's about 100th of that. There's just a rotating group that I'm reading when I'm in the office. My office is away from home, so I bring them with me. Favorite right now? I will give you a favorite right now. Oh, the one I'm in the middle of is not up there. So the one I'm in the middle of isn't up there. It's somewhere. I'll find it. I'll give you a recommendation on books. Love it. Did a lenses replay from last week. Realized I zoomed in on the wrong picture. When you say wrong, Sally, is it just not true for you? Are you thinking you're doing lenses wrong, or it was not the picture you really wanted to be in? Yes, Renew, this week made sure to fill in lenses every day for the first time. That's the celebration. Yeah. Good. All right. You're not broken. It's not there yet, Linda. I've been some of the coaches. All right, I think all the certified coaches had the opportunity to read an advanced copy, and you are going to love You're Not Broken. And yes, Lagita, I've got William Whitecloud, Secrets of Natural Success. I actually got it on audio. Very good. So I think I've got an idea of who all's new. Just to make sure that if you're new, you know to go into Kajabi, watch the video on why lenses are important. So I'm just going to give you an idea of, why I think lenses are so important. Lenses really aren't about keeping track of to-dos. For me, they're a jumping off place. Hey, Rita, also new. Gotcha. We gotcha. To me, lenses are kind of the jumping off place for my to-do list. They set it up so that I know that what I'm putting on my to-do list is what's really important, what's really aligned, what's really going to move me into the desired reality. And then I'm not just putting a bunch of stuff on my to-do list. It'd be great if it got done. Might even feel good. And a lot of times it's the easiest thing to do, right? But it's not necessarily going to be what's really going to move my reality. That's exactly what it is. And Ella is creating that beautiful tension, and Michaela setting up in tension, literally in the tension. So when you work with lenses, it's really all about the high level, the big desired reality, end result. I don't know if some of you don't know, and I'll just share with everybody. This is a 90-minute session. I know you're used to the 1-hour sessions. This is a 90-minute session. So usually, if you're wondering how this goes, we'll usually spend about the first 30 minutes kind of making sure everybody's in structure, in the tension, so to speak, and reviewing the last week. And then, just kind of getting into the what do you need to do for next week. And the last half an hour is structure and recode. So for the lenses, you want to allow the 90 minutes. I do try not to go over, but it is a 90-minute session. So some of you probably aren't used to that if you haven't done a lenses session before. So excuse me. So with lenses, it's really important. I think that if there's anything I can tell you about lenses, if you're just getting started, that you get those, the desired end results set up. And if right now you're just working on the core four, if you're just working on the core four, and if I know I've got coaches in the group, if you can type those four in so that people that are new can really start feeling into those core four choices. And we call them the core four because they're really kind of the master. Yeah. Can I just tell Superconscious to do or tell me what to do in alignment with the core four and self-love? Angelou, that's exactly what the wisdom meditation does. That's exactly what wisdom meditation is about, is going into that space where you're getting that download, so to speak, of what's the right next step. That's exactly what it is. Now, I've never had Superconscious give me a step-by-step blueprint. My Superconscious doesn't seem to think I need to think that far in advance. Thank you. We've got some coaches that are typing in the core four. So the wisdom meditation, Mara, is in your meditation library, and it's the one where you're just going into what we call innocence, going into that place where it's like in no sense, nothing makes sense, nothing needs to make sense. You're just an open blank slate so that the information can show up for you. Absolutely does count as action, Allison. So the question is, I was working on the core four, got really vague answers like allow, meditate. Those are definitely action. I'm going to remind all of you, and Rochelle posts it fairly often just to remind us, and sometimes I need the reminder too, that you can only aim at one target at a time. So you have the core four, and you may have 4 or 5 of your own that are important to you. That are end results, but think of each one of those as a target. And every time that you're working with Superconscious, whether it's coaching and recode, whether you're doing the wisdom meditation, whatever it is, you're aiming at one. So it's like you're pulling back that bow, you're setting up the tension, you're aiming at one at a time. So if you're working at all 4, now that is something that after you've been working with the core 4 for a while, you do them in pretty rapid succession, feel into each one and kind of go, do I have any resistance there that I need to recode before I move on? But when you're starting, just aim at one, and you may get more specific answers, Allison, if that helps. So, but allow and meditate are both actions. Even in inaction, there's an action of being still. There's an action of perhaps being somewhat restrained, because sometimes we want to run around, because we're programmed to take action, but the instruction is don't do that. Be still right now. Allow, and that is an action. So yeah. How long should you work? Kiri, it's not really about how long. It's all about releasing the resistance. So, sometimes you work with one, do a couple of recodes. The next time you feel into it, you're like, resistance? What resistance? I don't have any resistance to that. So, but check in with those core 4 on a regular basis as you're doing your lenses. Because your lenses, I almost guarantee you that everything that you're working on, whether it's the desired reality for you, or whether it's, what you're doing on a day, a week, 30 days, which we're coming up on the end of a month. So you're getting ready to do your 30 days again, your 90 days, whatever it is each one of those, I almost guarantee you, falls under a heading of one of the core 4. Does that make sense? Makes sense? Good, Allison. Yeah, when you're doing them, if you're doing them one at a time and that's what you're getting, then that I trust that that's first step, and a lot of times it is the when we're in the I want to doing, it's the there's nothing to do but action to take. I want to doing, and our wisdom, our innate genius says, But what you need is a stillness. What you need is an opening. What you need is a little time with an empty container so that you can allow yourself to fill it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Can I choose to live my true nature and purpose for my lenses? Perry, that's always one of the, it's just think of them really as the core four is like the biggest lens. That's like way back there looking at the earth and going, a life I love will exist on that planet. And this is really big. And then what do I want for myself? What do I, that 1 year lens is more specific, and then it gets more and more specific as the lens gets tighter focused. But those core four are the widest lens. Um, yeah, Junebug, once you kind of get the structure, you may just use a notebook, but as long as you're following the structure and you're getting in that tension. Yeah. Julie, that's right. Stillness is an action and a choice. Thanks for adding and a choice. That's exactly right. Fidialine, Fedialine. I'm trying to get all the vowels in there. What a gorgeous. I just love the look of words. And names are just beautiful words. Does the lenses process work if I'm new to meditation? I haven't been able to get into the meditative state. It still works because the tension still works. And one of the things that you'll want to practice is getting into that state. It's like some people are not new to meditation, but maybe are new to other aspects of the process. So just take that as this is the part I need to practice, and just keep following the structure of the lenses. Yeah. Anna L, you might think about really focusing on some of the ones that are the most important to you, until you're not seeing resistance in all of those. But yeah, I love that you have such a broad picture for a life you love. Yes. Good. Good. I'm using lenses like a to-do list, being very productive. Fine. Some days I'm unconsciously avoiding the high priorities, but I'm busted. Yep, exactly. Lenses will definitely call your attention to where you're basically in resistance or avoiding certain actions. Yeah, Kiri, that's pretty much what I do is check in with all four, and if I feel any resistance, and it seems like I'll go through periods where there's some resistance coming up, and a lot of times it's just I've set some big action items that relate to that core choice, and so it'll show up, and it's really helpful to notice that and just go on. Marianne, I love it. My desired end result is to have an action-inspiring, flowing coaching business. Feel into that and ask yourself exactly what that means to you. What does it look like? What does that look like? Good. All right. So think of lenses as your tool for staying in the tension. It's a tool for staying in the tension every week, every day. You're bringing that structure back up. You're always looking at one aspect of creation, really, one lens of creation, one cycle of creation, whether it's a day, a week, the bigger lenses. Mary, I do, and this is the practice that I love. Do we fill in the daily planning parts of the lenses every day? If you get into a flow where, and I like to do mine at night and then check in with them in the morning. That's just my reflective time, and when I'm most likely to be open to inspiration just happens to be night for me. But whenever you do it, reflect on the period just previous. So if you're doing the day, reflect on the day before, do the review, and do your lenses for that next day. If it's the week, and this is what we're going to be doing here, that I'm hoping everybody's ready to share, is to look at the week previous, asking yourself, what went right, where were my challenges, where did I need support, those kinds of questions, because here's what'll happen. As you're doing those reviews, it starts popping up. Hey, I never seem to, or I always seem to. Your patterns will just show up. The patterns will just show up right there in the lenses structure if you're doing your review and then pulling that into your planning for the next period. Yes, Angela, that's exactly right. The tension between desired reality and current reality. That tension is what creates the energy. Really, the need for resolution, the tension to move comes from having those 2 points. All creation really has that, right? Chris likes to say, there's the blank canvas, and there's the masterpiece that the painter sees. Desired reality is the masterpiece is on the canvas, but current reality is the canvas is blank, or it has the preliminary sketch on it, or it has some color, but it's not finished. So that's exactly that tension between desired reality and current reality. Shifting into flow, structure, orientation, yes. Observing old aspects of myself, that feels inspiring. And I love it. I love that you're treating that as something inspiring. That's going to create some amazing energy to move with. Realized my resistance was not enough momentum in the past because it either felt overwhelming or I did not have another end result once my end result is accomplished, accepted. This is, there's a cycle to creation, there's the completion, the celebration of the completion, but there's always a new cycle. And, when we get in that, and I know a lot of people get in that kind of before they even complete one, they're like, well, but now I want another end result. I need something bigger. Or they complete it and they're just like, okay, now what? I don't feel any tension. There's always, and this is why I like having multiple choices. Pun not intended, but appropriate. When you have a lot of choices that you're working toward, like, the 4 or 5 in addition to the core 4, they're not going to finish on the same cycle. So there's usually, for me anyway, there's one that feels like it's coming into completion, one just kind of forming up and getting clear. So there's never that no momentum, no pull, no tension, because there's always something else coming in, right? I love it. Angela met a soulmate. Very cool. Allison, my pattern of getting sick, the closer I get to the desired reality, is really popped up. Yeah, so you can kind of ask yourself, what's that about? What is this, getting sick the closer I get,
Oh, is it just the fish that's going?
What does that symbolize for me? Getting close to completion.
Is it the fish
What's
going?
that always represents something, and if it's something that's having a physical effect, that is causing you to be sick, then what does it represent that your response to that representation is to become ill? So, good thing to ask yourself. Carrie, I'm struggling with very intense day job, not much time for creation I love. Any tips for focusing on desired reality? My job takes up so much of my focus. Yeah. Um, you know, it's still lenses. Yeah, everything comes back to lenses. Here's the thing I love to ask especially when people say I have very limited time to work on something, whatever it is to look at your lenses with this filter. What can I do every day? And what can I do today? So if you're doing your daily lenses and you don't have much time, then the question is, what can I do today? What really, what do I have time to do today? What's the most significant thing I could do today? A lot of times massive action isn't like this big, huge project that's going to take forever. It's that getting over the hump for something, or that action, that decision, or that you letting go, that's going to represent the biggest momentum toward your end result. So every day, what can I do today? And then, on the weekly basis, it might be really interesting to ask, what can I do every day? So, Carrie, if you've got 20 minutes every day, one thing you can do every day is do one of the meditations, you know? And that may not seem like action, but it is, you know? Doing one of the meditations with what time you have and just committing for the week. You know, if your only commitment is every single day, I'm going to do one of those meditations, you might be surprised how that helps you focus so that you're actually making more out of your weeks the week after that and the week after that. So that's just a filter that I like. What can I do every day and what can I do today? You know, based on the time and energy that you've got, the resources you've got. Yeah. Yeah, Allison, this is my identity keeping me safe. Absolutely it is. The question is what aspect of your identity and what does it think it's keeping you safe from? You know? What is the implied threat? What's coded up there? Oh, Barbara, that's fantastic. Woke this morning, there it was. True choice. Waiting patiently for it to become clear, now it's here. Yeah, pull back the curtain, and there it is. And now, one thing I will do this week, ask the other version of you, what can I do today to be the greatest expression of myself to the world and to stay magnetic? Yeah. Good for you, Michelle. I know, wasn't it last week that you said that was your true choice, was to be known and recognized as an artist? I think that's right. Carrie, you're very welcome. Yeah, Allison, feel into that. That feels like what's at the heart of it. Oh, good, Michelle. I love it when my memory supplies it the right information. Sometimes it's the right information, wrong person, you know, that sort of thing. Love it when it's true. Good. Marianne did my first watercolor yesterday. It's something I keep promising myself I'm going to dabble in. Haven't yet. Love it. If there are no other questions about lenses specifically, or how to get into lenses, or how to make lenses effective, or you know, if there's the I'm in resistance to lenses, what do I do about that kind of questions? Tell me what you're celebrating from last week. You know, what went right? What can you look at and go, well, that, and some of you have shared, and I love it. You know, we've soulmates and artwork done and all kinds of cool celebrations. So always look at your lenses through, you know, first that lens, literally that filter on the lens that says, I want to filter out what went right. I want to recognize what went right. And I want to celebrate that, because the energy of celebration can do so much to take us into the future. It really does. And not only does it give us energy to take us into the future. I just noticed there were a couple of questions in Q&A and there are comments, and I love it. Annie and Claire Jo, I've seen it, and thank you, and thanks for sharing. So the other thing that you're doing with right now, as you're looking back at your lenses, looking for what to share, what to make significant, you know, because when you share it out here, you're making it significant. You're really saying this is a significant celebration. This went right, and I want to give it some focus, which is what a lens does, right? Gives it some focus. Is you're also teaching all aspects of yourself that is a good thing, that is something you want more of. You're literally training yourself to receive more of it. So look at your lenses through that filter. Tell me what went right. I love it. Ooh, Perry, that's a nice shift. Now I'm learning I can act on shorter term end result. Record my LP I've been working on for a year. Yeah. You know, there are some people that we get programmed that our end result is our 5-year goal, or, you know, our 1-year goal. And working on something that could happen tomorrow, that, you know, that I want it as soon as naturally possible thing, is a shift, is definitely a shift. So Monique, watch the first 5 videos. Good for you. Good for you. Good to hear it, Carrie. I think, you know, adding that in and looking at what you can do today and every day. And I'm so glad you're already making meditations and recodes part of the day. That definitely helps with focus, right? I made a decision to commit to my lenses, take actions toward my goals. That's the thing to celebrate. And not only is it something to celebrate because it's fantastic, it is something to celebrate because then you're telling yourself, hey, these are the kind of decisions I want to make more of. I want to feel good about making these kinds of decisions because they support me, right? And last week I found a musician to start my recording. Yeah, having creative partners, co-creators, nothing like it. Nothing like it. And I was celebrating my first lenses process. Yes. Claire, I'm curious, how do you choose for mental health and stability without slipping into the problem reality? You know, it's so subtle that we often miss how to shift that. And it's simply to look at what will be true when mental health and stability are present at the desired level, right? So none of us completely lack mental health and stability, you know? It's just like any other kind of health. You know, when I'm not feeling good, I'm like, how's your little toe doing? Little toe feels good. Good. Then you still have some health, right? So, so we're really asking for more. We're asking for a desired level of mental health and stability. What will be true when you have that? And focus on the what will be true, the end result, the reality, the experience that you're creating. Because that's really when, when we say we're creating a new reality, what we're really creating is an experience. We're creating a way that because we think our experience of life is the reality of life, right? We're just that's just how we think of it. So Claire, I want you just to get really clear. What's the experience? What is true when you have that desired level of mental health and stability? What does the day look like? What do you feel like? When you're challenged with something, what's your response like? And pretty soon you'll see, oh, here's the contrast. Here's the contrast between the desired reality, how I'll live in that experience, between current reality and the challenges that I have today. There's your tension. There's your 2 points. And resistance will pop up because when you're in the tension, resistance is going to come up. Yay. Glad it comes up because it's there, whether it comes up or not, right? It's there. So when it comes up, then you recode it. So that's that little subtle shift. Instead of focusing on the thing you want, focus on the experience you'll have when that thing is there. I was overwhelmed before I put pen to paper, started the lenses with the 4 choices. That's always where to start. Yeah. Glad this is adding some clarity. Yeah. No, you're not alone. You won't be alone in struggle. You won't be alone in celebration. Got to my festival fully prepped without stress, which was my goal. Ingrid, love it. Don't know what you were doing at the festival. I'm curious. Please share if you feel like it. But that is huge. I used to found a great art community, take my art to the next level. Yeah. Meditated every day, did several recodes. Great. Feel a little deeper into that. If part of what you're celebrating is your commitment to doing this work, then also ask yourself, and what else is true? Because I can pretty much promise you, if you're celebrating and you're saying, what went right? I was consistent with my meditations, or I was consistent with my lenses, or I did 2 or 3 recodes, or whatever that is, I guarantee you, if you feel a little deeper, there are also shifts that are coming about, things that you're responding to differently, things that aren't as hard to get around to doing as they used to be, or whatever. Keep feeling into it. Julie, I recognize I'm here to enjoy the process, enjoy my journey. Manifested a much better job position that will allow me more time and freedom to pursue my goals and living the life I love. There you go. And for those of you who have said, hey, my day job's keeping me crazy. If your choice is not to be crazy with the day job, Julie just told you what can happen. Yeah. Kathy finished a landing page for a new course, had a wonderful, loving phone video call with my son who's in addiction recovery. That's got to be meaningful. Yes. Working lenses, recodes, and meditations every day. Perfect example of doing the work every day. And here's the progress. Here's the experience. Love it. Michelle, week 2 of drawing course. And so aligned with your true choice. Yeah. Laura, I love to hear that. Last week I celebrated 14 months of sobriety. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Yeah. Rita finally had the courage to book my dream holidays coming very soon. Good for you. Good for you. And did my cardio dance class. Felt good about it. Oh, Allison, that's a good idea. Put the core on my bathroom mirror. Nikki, second week of my unshop, feeling free. I love it, love it, love it. Glenda, I'm new and wish to become a recognized artist. You aren't alone there. There are several amazing artists in this group. And hopefully you'll connect with them because it's just such a wonderful thing to bring into the world. Yeah. Yeah. And I love watching you guys support each other. Like several comments in a row, woohoo and yay for you. And I'm like, yes, I love this energy. Well, there you go, Marie. That's timing. Today I decided to contact an entity I want to be involved with, expected to leave a voicemail, and a human answered. Who does that, right? We had a great conversation, discussed my joining in their organization. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you. Boy, when you get a human on the phone these days, that's not something you can expect, but definitely a celebration. And just, celebrate your action, picking up the phone and calling. Sally, wholesome meals for my family, 6 out of 7 days. Good record. Join 2 live recodes, meditate every day, join 2 practice calls. There you go. 2 Q&As, work to the garden, meet a couple of people, PF friends. Why don't I? Can't figure out what PF means, but friends are friends. Most productive week so far. Yes, yes, yes. Susan, my phone had to be reset to factory default and having to downline and cite in many things. Feels like an expansion, but very stressful. How will lenses help reduce the tension? Lenses don't help reduce the tension. The thing I love about lenses is it moves the tension into the creative tension instead of the psychological tension. And this is my experience, just my honest experience is focusing on lenses, something like that. And Susan, boy, do I hear you about phones and technology and, yes, I just recently had to get a new phone and same thing and moved from Android to Apple. And it was just like, oh, please. And I've, technology and I are usually at loggerheads. And it's just the thing I noticed is that because I'm so in the creative tension, I'm creating this. Oh, this, not so fun. It's so wet. Not so fun, don't care. I'm creating this. So it doesn't reduce the tension. It moves the tension into the creative structure so that psychological tension and the things that used to bug you and drive you crazy just don't have the power. Yeah. Danny, started my real estate investment career again, reached out to people who can help me level up and scale, made the necessary connections, reaching out to people. I think that's even though I felt the resistance, took care of them with the superconscious. Yes. It's really true about take the next obvious step, get proven support. Definitely saw the support. Thank you, Danny. That's exactly what it is. And when you're in that creative tension and you're releasing the psychological tension, you're in the creative tension, then that next step is just becomes obvious. And when you remove the resistance and take the step, then you get the support, and it's just that's the cycle. Yeah, Claire, that's a beautiful metaphor. I love that visual. Nice. Marianne, I was able to accept and complete with the feeling of being worthy of it. I think you mean compliment, and I'm thrilled. That's not easy. You would think, yeah, compliments are good. Why don't we just take them? It's not that easy, and you definitely should celebrate accepting the compliment. Yeah. Let's see. Liz, should recodes be done daily? I'm going to leave that up to each of you. Listen to yourself. We have people ask about how often recodes should be done. And really, my own experience, there are 2 criteria I pay attention to. Am I feeling resistance to taking action? If I'm in resistance to taking action and there's action I need to take, I need to do a recode. whether I sit down and do, this is the beautiful thing about taking the coaching certification or the superconscious mastery training is that, I don't just go look for a replay. I sit down and do a recode for myself or do a replay or get on a live call. So recodes are for, when you're in resistance to taking action. Um, and then listen to your entire self, but especially your body, and don't overload it. Sometimes we're trying to move massive boulders of resistance, and we think, I'm just going to do a recode, that whole boulder is going to be gone, and I'm just going to be off and running. And that is just like releasing anything else. You can only detox so fast, right? Safely. So if you start having major symptoms, we get people that ask about what kind of symptoms are normal when you're doing recodes. If you're asking big changes of your system, and especially the body, then you may be trying to push boulders way too fast, or dissolve boulders way too fast. So yeah. Yeah. Monique, realized I volunteered my way into no income, so pulling my energy back. Yeah, we can do things that we feel good about, but it's also great to get paid, isn't it? At the festival, I did meditation, yoga, dancing like no one was watching, with like-minded people, plant-based, drug and alcohol-free environment. There you go. That sounds incredible. Yeah. Carmela, I need passive income. Can't figure out what to do. Here's the thing. When somebody says, I don't know what to do, I can't figure out what to do. I don't have any ideas of what to do. Every time I find that it's not that they don't have any ideas or they don't have access to their genius. It's that they're blocking that. Sometimes it's resistance to what they know. Sometimes it's a resistance to, but what if I have ideas and they're the wrong idea? It's I need it now, and I'm afraid that if I do what I think to do, or what I have an idea to do, or what somebody's told me I could or should do, it will be the wrong thing. It will backfire, and I'll be in worse shape than I am now. So it's almost always I need it, I can't figure it out, almost always resistance. So, what I hear is a focus on creating passive income. That's the need. That's the so I don't have lack. Instead of, I want to focus on having passive income because I just love to have income coming in when I'm sleeping. If you guys feel the difference in tension. So we talked about the psychological tension when we say I need to create passive income, and it's out of lack. It's out of, I want something I can't have, or I don't have enough money for the things that I need money for, or whatever it is. When we're focused there, that psychological tension, that pulls us back into the old identity, and it keeps us stuck or oscillating always. If we focus on, I want to create a path to passive income because I just love to make money when I'm asleep. That would be cool, and I'm willing to put in some work on the front end in order to have that working for me on the back end. Great. Feel how that's creative tension. It's the difference between the current reality and desired reality, with a pull toward desired reality, not grounded in lack and fear. So look at your goals, and notice if the goal that you're setting, or the big end result, whether it's the goal for the week or the big end result that it aligns with, is lack and fear based or desire based. Fantastic. See, if I feel like I need to see the core 4 core truths every day, which feels to me like it should be one level above the first vision page in the lenses. So think of it, former engineer. Yes, you are definitely thinking like an engineer. So think like an engineer this way, that the core 4 are really I think of them as the huge containers. If I were coding, it would be like container, that pretty much every other choice that you're going to make, the your vision with the quadrant, or, the day, the week, the whatever, everything else you're going to do, pretty much bet it's going to fit into one of those containers. So it's they're above the structure, in a way. They're the prerequisite, the container that holds the other choices. See if that helps. Yeah, good. I love all these celebrations. Ramon, can too many recodes affect your body? They don't affect your body in a harmful way, but you may certainly have some what we would normally think of as symptomology, which is really just, if you're familiar with, sometimes they call it retracing or the healing crisis, or whatever, which is just the experience that you have of the body going through a reset, the body going through reprogramming, and sometimes it will go back and retrace even symptoms or emotions from a previous time, and it's just part of what we go through when we're healing. And I say healing, I just think of it as we're returning to wholeness. We're returning to the set point, which is where we want to be, and where we can be, and where we're programmed to be. But along the way, sometimes you're gonna have some experiences in the body that don't always feel great, and that's okay. Barbara, thanks for being here. I know it's late for some of you. Good. All roads come back to choose a life I love. Yep. And they certainly do in some way. Every time I do a recode, I end up choosing this. I know I have resistance within my business progress. I don't feel like building a successful business is a true end result, so I don't choose it in recode. If it's not a true end result, yeah, don't choose it in recode, and ask yourself, where is it not true for you? Where is it not true? Is it not true because you're so resistant to having a successful business, or is having your own business just really not what you choose, which is perfectly okay too? When I think of a life I love, having a successful business that feels light, expansive, and fun is part of my vision, along with a lot of other things. So maybe it's not an end result, and it's just something you have. And then the question is, what do I believe having a successful business will give me? Will it give me profitable and productive work that has that light, expansive fun? Then maybe it's not about owning your own business. That might be just one option. It may just be about having profitable work that makes me feel this way. Is tension the place where stress comes in? I've been meditating 2 months, recently been getting headaches. At the same time, I feel more stillness when meditating, less anxiety. And it depends on what you mean by stress. If you mean stress in the body, I don't really find that. Certainly not being in creative tension doesn't cause stress in the body. What I find shows up in the body is the release, and sometimes we don't notice that we've even been tense and tight. But I find what shows up is the release, of going through the recodes and releasing the resistance. So see if that makes sense. Beautiful. Lori, when in a recode, are we supposed to keep our end result in our minds, have our current reality in our minds, or lastly, bring our desired result into mind, then release and keep our minds clear, focusing on our superconscious? That's a really good question, Lori. And here's the way I would ask you to approach it. We are going to do recode in a minute. Is to have both points, not so much equally. It's really not. It's not about equally. It's, I have a desired result. Okay. I'm aware of my current reality. Okay. Which do I choose? Where's the energy going to flow? That's just it. It's not about keeping the current reality out of your mind. I know a lot of processes and personal development structures that will tell you, don't think about your current reality now, just put all your focus into what you want to create. That destroys the tension, completely destroys the tension when we just try to void out our current reality. And it's a lie. Lying to ourselves is probably not the right approach, right? So yes, I'm aware I have a current reality that's different. I don't hate my current reality. I don't choose it either. I'm going to choose my desired reality. And as you choose it and you're aware of your current reality, they're both there. The energy, the flow, the decision is toward your desired reality. what happens is that any resistance from the psychological tension, old identity structures, memories, traumas, et cetera, will come into what we call the active experience. They'll pop up and go, whoa, wait a minute, you can't go create that. You can't go create that. Here's what will happen, or here's what happened before. Here's what happened to somebody else. Here's all the beliefs that say that you can't just run off and create that, you know? And so that's the structure we want to bring up, Lori, is when that resistance comes up, then we can recode it. Yeah. Yeah, but Kayla, sometimes that's wise. Just listen to the lesson, listen to the coaching, and if you're not feeling like you need to do a recode again, like you've just already done one, you're still processing that one, you can listen to the lesson and then come back for the recode later. Yeah, good. And I can see that a lot of you are sharing, the where you need support, and I'm just looking at where I can offer support. But if there's anything where you needed support, drop it in. This is a good time for me to see if I can offer some support before we do a recode. So make sure that you're really feeling into, your end result, and especially the four, the family, which is really intimate relationships. Think of family as your intimate relationships, your finances, your fitness, your fulfillment, that you're really feeling into that, as well as reviewing your last week and just saying, hey, where do I need support? What happened that didn't maybe go so well, or where do I need support? And I'm just looking at that. Yeah. Okay, when I turn around a choice to be in creative tension instead of psychological tension, I still feel that what I'm trying to get away from, trying to get out of my job versus create a local lucrative coaching business. How do I really stop the away from tension? It's focus. It's always focus, and being in your end result. Really looking at your lenses and saying, if I'm making that choice for the lucrative business just to get away from my job, do I really even want a lucrative business, or do I just want away from this job? A lot of times we want to get away from the job that you're in, but it's not that you don't want to be in traditional employment at all. But we think I need to start a business so I can get away from the job. Yeah, it might be that another job serves the purpose just as well. So really ask yourself, what would I really love to create? Maybe you'd love to create being part of another business just as much as you'd love to create a business of your own. See, don't worry about it. It's impossible to have a template that works perfectly for everybody. But I think add that to yours. Add that to the way that you do it, to the template that you're using. All of our brains work differently, Yeah. Yeah, we're doing lenses before the recode. Suzanne, I'm not sure what you were expecting in terms of doing lenses. We're going through lenses right now. Yeah. Robin, I see you. You did type that just to me, so I won't respond right now. But yeah, always remember to choose health and vitality. Yeah, I see several of you just typing to me about, about health issues. And always remember to choose the end result, health, vitality, what it means to live in health and vitality. So easy to let what we're currently experiencing in the body pull us back. Yeah. Yeah. We have intimate relationship goals. How do you choose an end result? Claire, just know that we can choose intimate relationship goals. We can choose the relationship we want to be in. We can't choose whether or not the other person will want to be in that relationship with us. They might want to be in a relationship with us, but not the relationship that we want to be in. And sometimes, we're not going to be in that particular relationship with that particular person because they're also the predominant creator of their life, right? So Claire, just make sure that you're open and you're saying, this is what I choose in an intimate relationship. And if the other person isn't choosing that same relationship with me, then it will be with somebody else. Much love to all concerned. And both of you are going to create what you desire, right? Yeah, Suzanne, my style is probably a little different than Rochelle. But yeah, we're still going through the what went right, where do you need support? We're about to get into a recode here in just a little bit. So we're last half an hour, we'll get into structure. But Suzanne, if there's anything that you need support in the lenses structure, just tell me what we haven't talked about or where you would like that. Yeah. Just went through that one. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think, a lot of us have been through that, process of choosing a relationship and then realizing that the other person, that's okay, Amanda, that the other person isn't choosing the same relationship. I also know that, sometimes I always say you'll never have one relationship for your entire life. Sometimes you just have a lot of different relationships with the same person. That's been my experience anyway. So sometimes when you choose another relationship, you say, this is what I choose as a relationship. And the other person at first is going to be resistant because they don't have that vision, right? They don't have that vision. They're not in that creation with you. That when they're invited to co-create that relationship, that they actually benefit from that they actually love what you're creating. And it's never something we can count on. We can't count on them saying, yes, I want to be in this with you, but it's certainly something we can hold a door open for. Yeah. Suzanne, no, thanks for asking. And always ask for what you need in these sessions. Always feel free to ask for what you need, right? Yeah. That's a good thing to note, Claire. Good. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, Michaela, we're a little different. I think it is the beautiful thing for me. There are, in addition to Chris, there's Rochelle, Hannah, me, Julie, Galit, Edwina. What did I miss? That's all of us now. I think we're all a little different. We Emmy's gone to. That's what I was thinking. Emmy's actually building her own practice and she's I think doing some on-call and filling in, but she stepped away from regular sessions right now because I love that her own practice is really booming. So yeah, didn't forget Emmy. I just had to go, oh yeah, that's right. Emmy was doing the every other Thursday, session 6. So good. So here's what I want you to do. Needing support around action steps. Feel like my week's done by overrun with work, haven't moved forward with action steps. Yeah, Kathy, I'll be happy to take a look at that. With action steps, Amanda, a couple things. One, keep in mind that's exactly what lenses are for. It's why we do the lenses review. It's why we do the especially the weekly and daily lenses, is to make sure that, I think this is kind of where I always start, is that lenses aren't my to-do list. Lenses are my stepping off place for my to-do lenses. So lenses always comes before my to-do list, because lenses are what's the important action? What's the aligned action? What's that massive action in terms of it's massively going to move me forward, right? Or move my reality toward my desired reality. So if you haven't moved forward with action steps, always look at, are there a certain type of action step that I tend not to move forward on? because that definitely falls in the where do I need support? And support can just be, hey, I've recognized this pattern. You know, when action is, it requires me to do these things, I tend to find a lot of other ways to be busy and I don't do these things. Um, so it helps you to notice, um, you know, are there trends? And then again, sometimes there's just that one week when things came up that were suddenly more important than what was on your lenses, because they also align with an end result, like supporting your family, for instance, would align with an end result. That may not have been what you had on your lenses, but if a family member needs your support, you're going to put that first. And sometimes, you know, that changes it. So just look and see if there are any trends, themes, patterns that you want to pay attention to, right? Um, Good. Realistic can be elastic. That's a good observation, Sally. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Rita. This group always has amazing energy. I do love it when I get a chance to take lenses and let Rochelle have a holiday, which is what she's doing right now. Because you guys just bring such great energy into the lenses discussion. Let me see, Kathy. So rephrase this. I choose the end result of producing 5 divinely inspired videos for my new course. I don't know that it needs rephrasing. The only question I have is, are you creating the videos for the fun of it? Is it just, I just love to do these videos and have them out there? Is the course actually the end result? Or is there something bigger than both the videos and the course that is actually your end result? Always just feel into everything on your lenses and say, is this in service of something else, or is this its own justification? Because if the videos are in service of the course and the course is in service of a bigger business or a message reaching more people in the world or whatever, then even the videos in the course are not the end result. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, we all love Emmy, which is why I also love that she's really doing this magic thing in her own practice, which is so aligned with relationships, that glad she's focusing on that. So see it. What mostly comes to my next inspired aligned action. Mostly feminine rather than masculine. Is it okay, or do I have some blocks? No, it depends on what's appropriate. What's appropriate. Feel into that, and you know, just imagine yourself taking a big, you know, really big action that's masculine, really big out there, external doing, action step. And then feel, do I have resistance to that? Do I have resistance to that idea? Sometimes we go through cycles where most of what we need to do is the contemplative, dreaming, planning, birthing, kind of energy. And that's what we need to do. There are people in resistance to the feminine action as well. But sometimes we get stuck in that part of the cycle because there's masculine action that needs to be taken that we're in resistance to. So just feel into it and be honest with yourself. Yeah. Robin, I hear you type that just to me. So I won't say anything specific. I will just say that yeah, that becomes the cycle, right? And that's when it's really essential to break that cycle and change focus. Change your focus to the end result. And I get it. I hear you on such a deep level, and it's still the only thing that we really can control. And it makes all the difference. Doesn't feel like it would, but it does. Yeah. The course is the end result and a new business launch. Kathy, that's a beautiful thing to notice, is that the course, or the course is an end result. It's something you just want to bring into the world. It's just, I just want to do this course. And sometimes, you know, that's true. It can be in service of a new business launch, but at the same time, if there was no business, you'd still want to do the course, right? So sometimes that's exactly true. Yeah, Robin, I hear you. We don't do these webinars that way. It's just a choice that they've made. But yeah, have done that. Have done that with 129 people, or sometimes 200 people on. That doesn't work very well. But yeah, cool. Big choice. End result of an ELF. And for those of you that are new, ELF stands for easy, lucrative, and fun. So easy, lucrative, fun business delivers inspired courses. There you go. There's your end result. Yeah. Ingrid, that one's actually mine. That was the first book I published. Thank you. Um, is this a true choice? I choose to complete the moving process. No? What does the moving process let you have? When you've moved, when you've let go of the stuff, when the decisions are made and the stuff is gone and you're where you want to be, what will be true? That's your choice. Yeah. Good. Love people looking for buddies. Going through the lenses process with a buddy is fantastic. Yeah, Kim, you got it. You got it. So really feel into those, those 4 sections. The family or intimate relationships, finances, fitness, right? Fulfillment, my favorite. I love it when the other 3 line up with fulfillment. I like it when things line up. Yeah. There's power in alignment. There's just so much, you just think about it. If a rope is a zigzag or whatever, just not as much power. When things are lined up, man, things really click, right? So let's do a recode and get you into this week really rocking, really into, alignment is everything. That's right. So lenses are really all about alignment, y'all. That's what lenses are really about. It's all about making sure everything's in alignment right up from, the container of the core 4. For those of you that heard that conversation, just thinking of the core, each one of those core 4 is a container that you can put so much in. I choose to live a life I love. What goes in that container? What belongs in that container? I choose, to create health and vitality. I like that. I choose the end result. I choose to create. I don't just choose to have it. I choose to create it. I choose that to be an end result that is there. This is where I'm going. It's not a transient state. It's not a day of it. It's an end result. Okay. What goes in that container? So decide what you're gonna work with today. Decide what you're gonna work with today. End result of asking and receiving all the help I need. Is that an end result, or is that something that would help you create an end result? Choose a life I love. Good. Yeah, as you put these in, yeah. And if you're new and you haven't reached out or you haven't watched the videos, watch those first. Yeah, choose the end result of health and vitality. There you go. Feel into that. Make sure it's an end result. Make sure that you're really in it. So this is the other thing, especially with lenses, as you're pulling things through in alignment, is that you can test alignment by whether or not it feels right. Do you notice that? So when I feel into, for instance, living my true nature and purpose, I choose to live my true nature and purpose. I know what that feels like. And so if I'm working on one of my choices, and I want to know if it's a true choice, if it's not in alignment from an emotional standpoint, if I can't make that choice and live in alignment with my true nature and purpose, it's not my true choice. Maybe close, it may be a clue. It's not my true choice. So make sure that the choices that you're using today are in alignment and that they're an end result. It's like, choosing the end result of finishing the certification isn't the real end result, being certified. Choose the end result of being certified. Finishing the certification is just a step, being certified, right? Good. And so how does it feel? And notice when that feeling is in alignment with the feeling that you have with a life I love, or, being the predominant creator of your life. Health and vitality, nature and purpose. Make sure that your end result that you're feeling into right now is in alignment. I always think, for the recode, when we're doing lenses, it's really great to say, this is what's on my lenses for next week. This is the action that I am going to need to take with my lenses next week, and make sure that you're stepping into an end result that aligns with that action. Make sure that you're really getting into an end result right now. That's something you're going to take action on in the coming week, that's on your lenses. And I want you just to be in that. One of the things that I love is just being in that and just letting your body radiate it. So step into that end result. Let your body radiate that feeling. And I guarantee you what's going to happen is you're going to want to smile. When we really feel the joy and the love of an end result that is something that we're creating just because we love it, we almost always smile. So just let yourself smile. It's a good way to tell your body, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want. If your end result is something that you want to do, feel yourself doing it. Feel the joy of doing it. Feel the love of doing it. If it's something you want to have, feel yourself experiencing the having of it, the holding it, or the seeing it, or the knowing it, that it's yours. Doing, having, just step into that end result, that emotion, let it show up in your body. Let it show up in your body. And when it shows up in your body, it's almost always going to be a smile. Just get in that alignment. Good. Good. And this is always the creative structure, right? You have this desired reality, get in alignment, starts to feel really good. And then you also want to notice, what's that like for me now? What's that choice like for me? What's my current reality? What's my current experience? How do I experience this choice right now today? Yeah, remember that both points are important in the structure. To be in the wizard's gate, to be in creation, we want to be able to look at the current reality without resistance and just choose something different. But it takes 2 points. Won't have the creative structure without 2 points. So always hold those 2 points, and then choose what you desire. Choose what you love. Make the choice from love. Yeah. So you know what the current reality is. You choose from love. And then notice what comes up. Notice what comes up. Notice the beliefs that come up. Maybe the blame, the regrets, the stories, the old identity structure stuff that says, yeah, but you. There may be some old traumas, old events. Just let them come up. And I want you to notice as they come up. And we're just going to give those a number. And for those of you that are new, we always give our resistance a number. So all the things that are coming up, you just kind of put it in a ball and say, all right, this is what's keeping me from creating. I see it. I'm going to give it a number. And you can see some people already dropping their number in. So, 10 on the high end of the scale. 10 is, boy, that's a big boulder. I can't even see around it. I can't get around it. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah. It's just there. And a 0 is, that's nothing, So just give it a number, drop it in the box. This is not just for me. It's great for me to see that you're here, you're engaged. Hey, Sandy, did not see you on. Good to see you. It's also to give notice to your other levels of consciousness. Your self-conscious is now aware. Hey, there's this resistance, and here's how big it is. Here's what it looks like. Here's what it's all about. Good. So you've got that number. This is the structure you want to be in. Desired reality, that's what we choose. That's what we pour energy into. The current reality is there. We're aware of it. We recognize it. We know what that feels like. And then the resistance comes up and we know what that is. We know how big it is. You've got your number. Good. Now all you need to do is just drop into your heart and give me permission to connect for the recode. So just drop into your heart space. Drop down into your heart, that place where you always speak truth. And just say, I give Dixie permission to connect to my superconscious for the recode. It's that simple. And just relax into it. Just give me permission. Yeah. Just go on into your heart. Be in your heart. Be in your truth. Superconscious, you there? Yeah. Good. Superconscious, you see the true choice. Yep. And the resistance. Okay. Superconscious, I want to tag all emotion and fear about the physical world. Tag and treat all emotion and fear about the physical world, our bodies, our belongings. Tag all beliefs about our bodies and belongings being our true self, being conflated with who we are. Just remove any resistance to creating in the material world, to create the bodies, physical belongings, experiences, opportunities that we desire. Okay, just removing any emotion, any fear, any restriction. Thank you. Good. And do a massive change order if everything is needed. Superconscious, I want to treat alignment with desire. Also secondary intentions. Good. I want all of you to take a deep breath. And as you take that breath and release it, just drop a little deeper into your heart. Just really connect to what you desire. Just connect to the feeling of desire. Connect to that strong feeling of desiring to have something in your life, desiring to experience it. Superconscious, just notice where that desire is linked to it instead of or without. Tag and treat all the resistance and rejection that's entangled with desire. Good. Good. And from that place in the heart, just expand the heart. Just releasing any places where there's restriction. Thank you. And then do a massive change history, and everything is needed. Good. Superconscious, we need to treat family systems, family rules. Yeah. Yeah, especially rules about physical expression, achievement, performance. Family rules about showing up. Yeah. Good. Good. Do a massive change history, and everything is needed. There. Beautiful. Good. Superconscious will install the new information across all timelines. All memory systems and all levels of consciousness. And ground everything that we've touched in the matrix, the universe. Beautiful. Take a deep breath, come back when you're ready. Let me know how you're going. What's flowing? And if you step into that choice again, just let me know how the resistance feels now. Where you at? Yeah, 10 to 4. Nice. Down to 0. 10 to 6. Yeah. Yeah. Feeling that. Nice. Nice. 7 to 2. 10 to 1. 9 to 1. 9 to 4. 4 to 1. Good. Good. And I want you to particularly notice if you felt any physical shifts or just, what you feel in your body. Just notice it. Let yourself feel it. Thank you, Michaela. All right, good. Energized. I love it. Love that feeling of energy. That's definitely feeling that in the body. And I want you all to notice if you are as well. Thank you, Kim. That really came up. Tag and treat our belongings. It's never come up for me in recode that I remember, but it was it demanded being said. So there you go. Amanda, crying to more peacefully. And crying is just this really great way of releasing. I always just kind of laugh and say it's the soul's way of cleaning up the body, right? Um, but yeah, big physical release is good, Alex. Thank you. Expansion 5-1. Yeah. Energized, ready to do my real lenses work this week. Good to hear it, Mara. Good. More relaxed. Calmest 9-1. You know, Ingrid, it's funny. That was probably the most powerful recode to date. We just experience them differently, right? I don't know that it's the recode itself that's more powerful. It's just sometimes it's where you are when you come into it. But I love being in the field with all of you. Good. Good. There was a lot of energy. Yep, I hear you. Physical shift to the solar plexus. That's good to notice, Andrea. Good. Ready for that week of cleanse and let go. Good to hear it, Amelia. That seems like it. Yeah. Even home with a broken foot, I feel empowered. Yes, because that foot will return to full wholeness, and it's that empowerment that's going to keep you moving with or without the cooperation of the foot, right? Good. Ooh, Claire, that's lovely. Feel that energy moving around the temples, out of the mouth. Just definitely good. Amanda, thank you. Yeah. Slight movements of energy in the body, 3-0. Good. So it doesn't sound like you had to shift a whole lot today. And it's always nice to have just that little shift, right? The last of it. Good. Good, Michaela. It's good to notice those things, right? Susan couldn't remember the problem. There you go. Problem? There was a problem? Yeah. Ooh, Jima, that sounds gorgeous. Love it. Andrew, that was your first live recode. I'm glad it was awesome. Thank you, Marie. All right. I love seeing all this. Looks like you're all doing good. Doing good. Oh, Bonnie, we just wrapped up. Yeah. Sometimes time changes are hard to Andrea, you know, if you're distracted, your superconscious is still online. So yes, I do think that they can be effective even when you're massively distracted. I would also encourage you to come back in to the replay when it's posted. Facebook wouldn't let me share it directly to Facebook, but I will download it and get it posted for all of you. So you might come into that and just do the recode again and just make sure everything lands and that you're consciously aware of the shift. Sometimes that helps. Good. First lenses. Thank you. All right. Still flying. We'll keep that up. Fly right into your week, right? Um, and keep creating. Stay on with your lenses. They serve such an important purpose to the work. And absolutely stay magnetic. That's exactly right. Beautiful. Love y'all. Bye-bye.